Right. Shall we talk about Outcast season 1?
Yeah, crack
Because
on. You start.
we have done intermittent reviews of single episodes. I think we reviewed like the first couple back when we first recorded. Are you getting me? Oh, okay. So it's gone from it start as a series. It started very strong with this grotesque imagery of that boy who was possessed and headbutted that beetle and ate it, and it tested my resilience. But not long after, things steadied on, and there's just this very slow burning, intriguing storyline about a handful of characters in a small town, and what the hell was going on with these apparently possessed people. And
Yeah.
it's built very cleverly. It's had some slow points, sort of mid-season, I thought. Um, but the last two episodes, Jesus, I watched them
Yeah.
both today. It got really serious. Episode 9 is becoming the new kind of big episode of these
Yeah.
sorts of seasons, and
It was good.
yeah, fuck me. It got me really, really worried about what was going to happen. Like, there's always a certain amount of consistency in these TV shows because they generally keep the same actors going, and you know that certain people are safe.
hmm
But I was like, oh man,
All of a sudden,
I don't know
out of
anymore.
nowhere.
Yeah, that it, and it started getting into that really creepy sort of territory, like the. I think the final episode it was where it opened on what's her name, the sort of sister of the Outcast.
I've got it written down somewhere. I completely lost it. Megan.
Megan. I'm getting some feedback from your
Yeah,
line.
give me a sec.
Yeah. You having audio issues, mate?
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
okay.
There
So Megan becomes possessed, which you can kind of see coming. They do lay these little hints,
we go. They do.
and being as we know that these things are attracted to him, it's bound to keep happening to people he's close to, and she becomes fucking freaky, like the freakiest possessed person we've seen yet. And I think that final episode opened up on eyeball touching.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I couldn't watch it, Alex. I couldn't.
It was so good.
Jeez.
So good. I wanted to see more.
More eyeball touching.
Just more. Everything. When his daughter rang him and said she's gone like mommy. What did mommy go like? What happened?
Yeah.
What happened in that interim when they were in the cupboard? What was she doing?
Yeah.
She might have been smearing her husband's blood all over her eyes, but what else was she doing? It was good.
Yeah.
It was the first time on this entire season where I've had to watch the next episode. I had 9 and 10 stacked up to watch, and it was going to be watch 9 one night, watch 10 the next night. I couldn't not.
Yeah.
It had to happen, and it paid off well.
Yeah.
I think. It was good.
I agree. It's nice to have a series like this where it doesn't go too like, I don't know how to say this, over the top in terms of like set pieces, and you find like with Walking Dead and kind of with Preacher in a way, things just get a bit too big and you lose focus on the characters. This kept things very personal all the way through, and it was a real good really interesting character study of these handful of people, instead of a massive overwrought plot that you lose that personal touch with. And I'm just hoping it continues that way, because it's very interesting, and they've left enough behind in terms of him and his wife, and his daughter now appears to have the same gift, and how is that going to play into things? And
yeah, that one I'm not. Episode 10 I wasn't as enamoured with as I was 9. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the whole season. I think it's been steady throughout,
yeah,
ramping up nicely for the end. But I think there was a lot of just acceptance in the last episode. Things were resolved a little bit quickly, and they laboured a bit too much on silly things. And I think a couple of the characters just turned out to be a bit caricaturic. So was it Aaron, the
the kid,
the kid, just became a weird caricature of a teenager.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and it was I didn't like him. Beforehand, he was quite interesting to have on screen, but then why can't Sydney do his own dirty work?
Yeah.
And then, what exactly was Sydney? Despite being asked very direct questions, he never actually find out, and that could have been paid off a little bit better. And then all of a sudden, they're in this big room, and he saved the day.
Yeah.
It was very, very quick resolution.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted him to save Megan.
Yes, definitely.
I wanted that bit to be concluded, but I would have been quite happy to see how they kind of cover everything up next season, instead of having a quick clip of them a nighttime meeting at the police station and kind of to letting us know it's all okay. Because the fallout of that could have been really kind of interesting and sort of stressful for these characters.
We've still got the fallout of, obviously, the fact that it wasn't Sydney in Sydney's trailer.
Yeah.
That's going to be quite interesting for Anderson to get out of.
Yeah, I mean, the Aaron stuff, I agree. He's too evil for a teenager. And he's not possessed. He's just a little bastard, but he's too much of a bastard. When he decided to break into the sheriff's house
and kidnap 2 kids, that's not what he does. That's not a teenager's thing.
No, I agree with you there. He took things a bit too far. But in terms of Sydney and his mystery, I don't mind them keeping that to one side, because I think the central crux of this, one of them at least, is what the fuck are these things? Like, what is going on? They are being very careful to use language that does not state this is a religious thing.
Yeah.
They are leaving it very open to interpretation, which is smart. I mean, the whole town is sceptical on the religious aspects anyway, and it kind of got pointed out at the end there that holy water doesn't really do anything. They only get scared of crosses when you start waving them in their faces and like a madman. Maybe it's not these actual artifacts that are having any relevance to what happens. Maybe it's something different. Maybe it's something scientific or alien or like trans-dimensional in nature, instead of it's devils and demons.
It is very careful, but they're also leaving it quite open, where then they say, "Oh, we came from the same place as you."
Yeah.
Well, it's a place then, so it's not like it could be a planet, but everyone who's watching it is thinking, "Well, hell, obviously."
Yeah.
But never saying hell.
Yeah, because it could be like a dimension that has sort of hellish nature. It could even be what religious mythology is based on or whatever, but have a grounded explanation. Grounded in as far as these supernatural things can be, but to walk that fine line between being overly religious and overly scientific, just find that middle ground. But I am really interested in that, on the nature of Sydney. What he seems different from the normal possessed people. Why it is that they can't stay in their environment at the moment. Why it is that there's someone who is outcast from that and doesn't have the sort of homicidal tendencies that they seem to have, and he's comfortably living in this world, and all that is very interesting. And it'll probably play out very slowly, but at least there is plenty of character-driven subplots
Yeah.
to keep things interesting in the meantime.
Yeah, there's a long way for it to go. There's a lot of legs left on the story.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm quite looking forward.
You do tend to find with these things where the reveal often doesn't kind of pay off what came before. It's more the journey that is interesting.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just have to enjoy it while it lasts, while the mystery continues.
Mm.
Any final words on Outcast season 1?
No.
Cool.
No.